Hello. Today I want us to reflect on prayer. So I've just stopped in the middle of a run to make this video. I always go out on a run and pray when I'm running. That's when I feel closest to God. But that proves an important point, because I realise that for a lot of people that's not the case. For a lot of people, running is probably when you feel furthest from God. It probably feels like hell for some people. I understand that. We all need to find whatever works for us. And if you're praying in whatever way works for you, then that's great. But I think there are ways in which we can improve how we pray. There have been two things which I've learned in life which I really try and implement whenever I pray. And both of them are summed up really well by 1Samuel chapter 3. Have a read of it later today if you get the chance. The first thing that you learn from it is that what we hear here is a really effective prayer in this chapter, and it's only 7 words long. Sometimes, especially when I'm praying around other people, I feel tempted to do these long, eloquent, articulate prayers. For I know it, prayers with other people can become a bit competitive. That's not what they're about. Martin Luther, the Protestant reformer, once said, "The fewer the words, the better the prayer." I think there's something in that. There's just 7 words in the prayer that Samuel prays in 1 Samuel chapter 3. And what he says is, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." That's a fantastic prayer, and God responds. And it teaches us, the content of what he's saying there actually teaches us something else about how we should pray. And to demonstrate this, I might just have to turn the camera around. Often when we pray, we get the direction wrong. We're praying upstream. We come to God with all our requests and all our plans, as though God doesn't already have plans and there aren't already things in motion. And I'm not saying that praying for things we need is wrong. We should be praying intercessory prayers, and sometimes God diverts the flow of the river. But sometimes we're better to just start upstream, where the flow begins with God. That's what Samuel does. He says, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Often when we ask God to just show us his plans, he'll do that. And we see that rather than fighting against the flow, we can go with the flow. God can show us how he wants us to be involved in his plans, how he wants us to live our lives. At the end of 1 Samuel chapter 3, we read, "Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and he never let his words fall to the ground." I think that's because prayer is a two-way thing. You have to do whatever works for you, but remember that it's not just about you. See, God chose to bless Samuel, but Samuel chose to listen to God. So I want to finish this reflection with a prayer. Speak, Lord, for your servants are listening.